this video, I'm going to be showing you how Allah not only has a soul, but his soul comes down in creation as a man. So to start it off, let's see what Allah said in Surah 5, Ayah 116, what Allah revealed. When said Allah, O Isa, son of Maryam, did you say to the people, take me and my mother as two gods from besides Allah? He said, Jesus, glory be to you. Not was for me that I say what not I had right. If I had said it, then surely you would have known it. And you know what is in myself, and not I know what is in yourself. Indeed, you are all knower of the unseen. When it says, you know what is in myself, and not what is in yourself, this word right here,
Nafsika.
nafsika and nafsi right here, the root word is nafs, and it's actually doesn't mean myself at all. The translators were scared. It means soul. Even in Quran 3:30, on the day you will find every soul, and it says nafs, nafsin. It says nafsin. Root word of nafs always means soul. You'll find this word quite a bit in the Quran, and it always means soul. You even have in Surah 3, 185, every soul. Nafs again is the root word of nafs again is soul. Even in this one, in 10:100, it says, and not is for a soul. Linafs. Look, nafs, it means soul. Doesn't mean myself. First Quran. The Quran interpreted, which is our Bari's Quran, which is a scholar, which is recognized as one of the most beautiful translations in English. The reason why is for its poetic quality and effort to capture the essence of the original Arabic text. What he says is quite interesting. He says, when God said, O Jesus, son of Mary, didst thou say unto men, take me and my mother as gods apart from God? He said unto thee, be glory. He said to thee, be glory. It is not mine to say what I have no right to. If I indeed said it, thou knowest it, knowing what is within my soul. And then Jesus says, and I know not what is within thy soul, talking to the Lord. And it says, thy soul, thou knowest the unseen. That's why it's thy soul, the Lord's soul. In this translation, it says, when God asked Jesus, son of Mary, did you tell men to consider you and your mother as gods beside God? He replied, glory be to you. How could I say what I have no right to? Say, had I ever said it, you would have certainly known about it. You know what is in my soul, acknowledging that the nafs means soul, but I do not know what is in yours. He was embarrassed. He's talking about his soul. Of course it is. Nafs means soul. These guys are being honest. So in Surah 5 at 116, Jesus Christ makes a clear statement that Allah has a soul. When it says the word nafs, I showed you several different Quran verses with the same word where he mentioned it as being soul. I showed you even different translations from renowned translators of Islam, all agreeing with me that it's not saying myself, it's saying soul. And it says word for word, you know what is in my soul, and not I know, and I know not what is in your soul. Right? So very clearly your soul is Allah's soul. Kashani, who was a little less scared, but still a little scared, who was a scholar of Islam, he even acknowledged it was talking about soul. He said, you know what is in my soul. Right? When it says, you know what is in myself, you know what is in my soul, he corrected it and said, my soul, encompassing as you do with all things as my knowledge, is but a part of your knowledge, but I do that which is within yourself. But remember, with the same word it used for Jesus was soul, and it uses for Allah as soul. Kashani, he was still scared, but he still acknowledged that it means soul. Nafs means soul, and he's still acknowledging that one of them was called soul, and the other one is going to be also. And there you have it. It's the scholars of Islam is on my side. The tafsir is on my side from Kashani. You have the translators of Islam that are on my side. You have the very word of Allah itself on my side, saying that Allah has a soul. Now let's see what Allah has done with his soul. Right? Let's go see it. So when Allah, he made mankind, it says, so when I have fashioned him and breathed into him of my spirit, then fall down to him prostrating. My spirit, it was the one they used was ruhi. The word ruh doesn't mean angel. It doesn't mean anything like that. It has two meanings. One can mean spirit, and the one can mean soul. Allah, he breathed into Adam of his very own soul to make him a living being. That's how it's went, to use his very own soul to turn Adam into his own creation, into a living soul, right? That's what happened. So Allah, He used His very own ruhi, which means soul, even in this translation, Sahih International. When I've portioned Him and breathed into Him of my, we put created here because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, of my soul, then fall down to Him in prostration, word for word, of my soul. So the soul of Allah can breathe into Adam and make him a living soul, and have the authority to do that. And all the Muslims say that Allah created mankind. So the soul is not just like different from Allah. It is Allah. Allah does not have any partnership. So if it's Allah's attribute, it is Allah. Just like how it's like the word of Allah, right? So it's just another attribute. And it says, then she took from them a screen. Then we sent, Allah uses plural majesty. Then Allah sent to her Allah's soul, because it says Ruhana, Ruh, we already know, means soul. Our soul, then our soul assumed for her the likeness, basra, of a man. Very clearly here. It says that Allah sent plural majesty, Allah sent to her Allah's soul, then Allah's soul assumed for her the likeness of a man. Allah can send His soul down in creation as a man, according to this. And we know it's this because in another verse that's harmonious with this verse, it's in the same instance. This is about the birth of Jesus. The other verse is about the birth of Jesus. It says that many angels came down, and one of the angels that spoke to her, she called my Lord. She called it my Lord. She committed shirk with it if it wasn't Allah, and that's what I will show you now. Before we get to that, I just want to show you one translation that agrees with me. It says, so she took from other than them a divider, protection. So we sent to her our soul / spirit. So He simulated, represented to her as an upright average human. He's acknowledging that it means soul, or it can mean spirits, but it's the same thing. Soul and spirit, they mean the same thing. Yes, they do mean the same thing. So that would literally mean that Allah came down in creation as a man. The same thing that they say, like, Allah made mankind, and it's Allah's soul breathing into Adam, making mankind a living soul. Same thing here. If it's like Allah's soul going into creation as a man, this is Allah coming down into creation as well as a man. There is no associate to Allah, right? And this says, right, this is what I was talking about earlier, how one of the angels, which is the Ruh, is there, right? One of these angels is the Ruh, the soul of Allah. And it says, when said the angels, right, many angels, O Miriam, indeed Allah gives you glad tidings of a word from Him. His name is the Messiah, Isa, son of Miriam, honored in the world and in the hereafter, and of those brought near to Allah. And He will speak to the people in the cradle and in maturity, and He will be of the righteous. She said, responding to this angel, addressing to whatever she's speaking to, as my Lord, how is it for me a boy, and has not touched me any man? She calls one of the angels, remember one of the angels in here is the Ruh of Allah, the soul of Allah, and she calls the one that is speaking to her that's well portioned as a man, my Lord, how is it so? This very same, the reason why I know that she's speaking to it is because in another verse, this Ruh breathes into her for hajjaha. And Miriam, the daughter of Imran, who guarded her chastity, so we breathe into it. Her chastity is the it. It is her chastity. And her chastity, the word they use in Arabic is the fahajaha, which means private parts. And they breathe into her private parts of our spirit, of our ruhana, right? And she believed in the words of her Lord and His books, and she was of devoutly obedience. Very clear what happened here. She believed in the words of her Lord after the soul of her Lord assumed the likeness of a man with a bunch of His angels and breathed into her private parts of His spiritual cum breath. Again, right? It says we breathe into it. It is her chastity, so we breathe into her chastity of our spirit, Ruhana, the spirit of our Lord, the same soul that breathed into Adam, the same soul, right, that Jesus was talking about when He said that surely you know what's in my soul and I know not what's in your soul. Very clearly, this is what Jesus Christ was talking about, the same soul that can do all of this stuff, that can breathe life into things, can breathe spiritual cum breath into things. You know, this is the soul of Allah, folks. Anyways, that brings this video to an end. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any future uploads. Thank you for watching.